वाला ये बेसिक तो पढ़ चुके हैं पहले क्योंकि
ओके सो कॉम्प्लेक्स वाला, हाँ अभी लिस्ट और टपल जब डिक्शनरी हो जाएगा एंड फॉर लूप व्हाइल लूप, then probably we'll have more complex. Okay, I'll give some scenario where you will get stuck and you will like definitely put more stress on your mind to find a problem, find the solution for that problem. So we'll do that exercise.
ओके सर
Okay, so और किसी को डाउट है स्ट्रिंग क्लास में, जो भी स्ट्रिंग की हम लोग पिछली क्लास में? And those who are not speaking, please mute yourself. I'm getting some background noise. Yeah, thanks, Naveen. Okay, so let me share my desktop. Okay, and I'll share the agenda for today, what we are going to learn. So where is this? Yeah. Let me know when you guys see that.
यस सर
Okay. So last class we saw operator as well as string, right? And today we are going to see another data type called list. Okay, so let's start with list. So what is list basically? So we saw the string, right? It was what? It was containing a lot of character, right? Character could be like alphabet or alphanumeric, right? It was a group or collection of different character. Okay. Similarly, list is nothing but it's a collection of data, and data could be anything. It could be string, it could be number, float, complex. It could be any kind of data. Okay. So this is also known as a heterogeneous data collection. Okay. So what do you mean by heterogeneous? Basically, this could contain uh, float type as well as string type, complex type, or list can contain another list in itself. Okay, so that's what is heterogeneous. And what else? This is nothing but a mutable data type. So anybody remember what is mutable and immutable? Anybody?
which can change
Yeah, so change means कौन सा है वो, mutable है या immutable है?
mutable
Correct. Okay, so we saw immutable was string, correct, and list will be mutable. So whenever you create, user will be able to modify its content. It could be addition of the element, new element, or deletion of the existing element, or adding new set of element in the existing data. Okay, that's what is mutable. So list में बहुत सारे interview question आते हैं, and you should be understanding this properly. Otherwise, it will be a difficult. Okay. So what kind of data type it is, whether it is mutable, immutable. If it is mutable, then how do you modify the data? So all those things we'll see. So let me use whiteboard and explain how exactly it looks like. Okay, so first of all, list how we present in the Python. We will use always square bracket. Okay. So under square bracket, you can add element. Let's say one, then all element will be comma separated. Then one, then two. Let's say another element called 13.16, and another element. Let me remove this. 1, 2, 14.6. Then you can have 1 plus 2j. Then you can have another list. Okay. Another list you can put inside a list, which is again starting and ending with square bracket. Okay, so I can have, let's say, string data type in this, then why I'm putting plus, it's comma. Okay, then b, then let's say 12.3, close it, and after that another element, let's say some list. Okay, a b c, some string, and just close the bracket. Okay, so this is nothing but a complete list, L, where this is your 0th element, that is first, second, third, fourth, and fifth element is not this one. Okay, this is a complete list. Remember guys, we'll do an exercise where people get confused. Okay, so if I ask like what is the fifth element, so this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the fifth element will be a complete list. Remember that. And in often cases like interviewer will be definitely confusing you guys. Okay, so when they ask like how to access this and what is the first element, then you should be knowing this very well. Like this is nothing but individual element, not just one element of the list. It's a complete list is one element of the existing list or original list of L. Okay, And similarly, another list is ABC. Sorry, another data in that list is ABC, which is a string data type. Okay, so this is the way you create the heterogeneous data. So again, I am repeating, heterogeneous is what? सबका mix है वो. Integer भी है उसमें, float भी है, complex भी है, and another kind of data that is list or string. Okay. And how to open, how to create empty list? You just give like this. Fine. So that's nothing but empty list. And this is nothing but having some data. It is also not a collection of data or collection of heterogeneous data. Okay, so let's see one example here. So I can write L equal to, so remember some people, those who are learning new, right? So they will be using list as a variable. Don't do that. So as I mentioned in the previous class, right, जो भी existing keyword है उसको use नहीं करना as a variable, because it has its own functionality, right? You are overwriting the functionality of the original list. Okay, so be careful while using that. Data, okay. So let me create existing list as L. Okay, and I'm going to use print L. Print. How to check the type of list? You can just use type function, correct? And just run it. See here, this is your empty list, and what type it is returning. This belongs to class of list, okay, or list class. It belongs to list class. People are still joining, so I'm getting disturbed now. It is popping up. Yeah. Okay, so let's create another list where we are going to have some heterogeneous data. So feel free to interrupt me if you are not getting any concept. Okay, I'll use here 1, 2, 3, then 10 point, then 10.5, 1 plus 2j, 3 plus, sorry, ABC. Okay, and print L. That's all. You see here, if everything is fine, right, it is going to return the complete list of element. Okay, if something is wrong, it is going to throw the error. And mostly what people make a mistake here, they are putting like double comma, or they have not put the comma also. So that's the problem. So while defining, make sure that you are separating out each and every element with the help of comma. Okay, so that's what we did here. And how to check the type, we have already shown, right? Print type of the list. Any questions so far? Anybody? Any question? All good so far?
Yes.
Okay, so if you remember in the string class, right, we talked about concatenation and repetition, right? So concatenation basically adding two string. Let's say hello is one string and world is another string, right? So you are concatenating, so it will become hello world. Similarly, concatenation can be done over list also. So you have two lists. This is list one, this is list two. You just concatenate. So what will happen? List one element will get added along with list two element. Okay, and it will form another list, which is the bigger one, which combines both L1 and L2. Okay, so that's what is concatenation. So let's see how it looks and how you can add it. So let's say I'm defining L1 equal to 1, 2, 3. Okay, L2 equal to 4, 5, and 6. If you do L1 plus L2, what it is going to give? See here, this is another list which is combining both the list element. Okay, L1 plus L2. It's not like 1 plus 4 will get added and I'll get 5. No, that is a mathematical operation, mathematical operation over those two individual elements. If you want to do that, you have to put a for loop, traverse through each element and do the addition. Okay, but concatenation has different meaning. So don't get confused. If I'm using plus, then 1 and 4 will get added and I'll get the 5. It's not like that. Okay, so both the element will get appended in a new list. That's what is concatenation. Can someone tell me what is repetition? कुछ याद है पिछले क्लास का? कोई बता सकता है? Anyone?
Sir, for repetition we will use star operator or multiplication operator.
Correct. That's correct. Yeah. So star operator, what it will do exactly? Star operator we use, but what exactly it does? So if I do print L1 star, let's say 5. So it is going to repeat L1 element
Print 5 times.
5 times. Yes, that's correct. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, then comma 1, 2, 3, comma 1, 2, 3. Okay. The same element will get repeated 5 times. You see here, there's a list one element, and again list one element, again list one element, and so on up to 5 times. Okay. So whenever you want to create some list, which is quickly you want to make a bigger list, always go with the star operator. It's kind of creating dummy data for some practice. Okay. So that's about repetition. And now let's see the indexing. So indexing concept remains same. Okay. So I'm not going to repeat this time. I'll just show the picture, then we'll do exercise and you guys need to answer it. Okay. So let me just, yeah. So we'll just make a picture here. Again, so let's say you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And let's say we have 0 also. Okay, if I move left to right and if I move right to left. Okay, so we have start just for repetition. Okay, and we have step size. I hope you guys remember. We saw this last time, right? Start and then step size. And here when you move left to right, we have to have +1, which is by default step size. I'm just recapping in short. Okay, and when you move right to left, you have to explicitly mention -1 step size. Step size to be mentioned explicitly. Okay, so please fix this picture in mind, and I'm going to do some exercise here directly. So indexing remains same the way we did in the string. Also, we'll use square bracket and put the number. Okay, the number should be within the range from 0 to length -1. And slicing, start and then step size. So the same thing is written here also. So let's do forward indexing first. I'm going to create number here. L equal to, let's say 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, print L. Now you guys tell me what is the output of L0?
0, 0.
Yes, why? Because indexing start from 0, correct? Okay, what is the output of, let's say 4?
4, 3, 5.
No, 4 output of 4 will be 4 only, right? 5, 4, 6, 5.
4.
I'm still doing indexing, no slicing. Okay. Now, what about this? If I give 10,
Error.
it will give error, right? Because it is out of range. Because we have value from 0 to 9 only, correct? I mean, indexing will start from 0. It will go up to 9. There is no 10. So when you give a number which is index, that number index which is out of range, it is going to throw the error, index error. Okay. Now, if I do -1,
9.
9, right? Because we can do a reverse indexing as well. Okay, so we have seen it here where it went. Yeah, so let me choose different color. So this will be 0 to 9, and this will be -1 to -10. Okay, this will be 0 to 9. Okay, guys. So I think by this time you are expert now with indexing. Okay, because indexing is very simple. All you have to remember is number should be within the range, and you can do forward as well as reverse indexing. Okay, so let me just put it this side. This is forward indexing, and this is negative indexing. Okay, now let's talk about the slicing. So remember this picture once again. We are going to do the slicing now. Okay, so here again I'll take the same example. So if I use print L and here I give colon, what will be the output? Output of this will be what?
0 to 9.
All array.
Yeah, 0 to
0
9.
to
That's,
9.
yeah,
0
that's
to
correct.
9.
Because start I'm not giving, end I'm not giving, step size not giving, right? So start by default will be 0, end will be by default last, and by default step size is +1. That's why you are getting 0 to 9. Correct? If I give, let's say 6,
0 to 5.
0 to 5.
yes,
0 to 5.
0 to 5.
because start I have not given, so by default it will be 0, and end I have given, so end will be always excluded. That is nothing but length minus 1. So 6 minus 1, that is 5. So you'll get 0 to 5. Okay, now let's say I have 2 and here I have 9. What does it mean?
Starting from
2
2
to
to
8.
9.
2 to 9 or 2 to 8?
2 to 8.
2 to 9.
2
No, no,
to
no.
8.
Again, remember
2
this
to
is
8. 2 to
yeah,
8.
2 to 8 is correct. So 9 means it will be excluded. So 9 minus 1. Okay, so 2 to 8 you will get. So those who are still getting confused about this, please watch the video again, the previous one. Okay, I have explained in detail. If I don't give this, then what
2
will be
to
the
9.
output of this line?
It will start from 2.
And from 9 and to 9.
Start from 2 and last will be 9, right?
9.
2 to 9.
9.
Right.
9.
Okay, what about this? 2 colon 2?
Step of 9. Gap of 2.
2, 5, 8.
Yes, 2, 5.
2,
No, 2, 4, 6,
4,
8,
6,
because
8.
we are starting from 0. If
2,
it is
4,
1, then it will be different. Okay. Every second element is starting from 2. Okay, guys. So that's about forward slashing. Let's talk about reverse slicing or backward slicing. I'll use same example. So here. So if I give, let's say, -5, what does it mean? Or let me change it here, okay? Will it give any output?
Five.
6, 7, 8, 9. 5 to 9.
5, 4.
5 to 9. Why 5 to 9? So some people might think I have given -5, but the step size I have not given -1. Why it is going? Because if you guys remember, right, in the previous class, so let's say this is -1, right? So -1 can be written as 9 also, correct? Similarly, -2 can be written as 8, correct? -3 can be written as 7, and -4 can be written as what is it? This is 6, correct? Similarly, -5 can be written as 5, -6 can be written as 4. Okay, so if I give -5 and I have not given end, means -5 is nothing but same as 5. Okay, so we are still moving from 5 to end. That's why we are getting 5 to end, that is 9. Okay, now if I change this -5 to minus, let's say, 9, what does it mean? Will it give any data?
No.
Why no?
Yes, sir, it will give
Because
data.
It is going to give empty data only. Why? Because as I mentioned, -5 to -9, you have to always mention negative step size, because -5 to -9, we are moving from where to where? You see here, -5 to -9 we are moving, right? So we are moving from right to left, -7, -8, -9, correct? And for negative size, you have to mention negative step size explicitly. You have to mention this is what I mentioned. Remember this, explicitly you have to give -1 as step size. Okay, if you don't give anything, it is not going to find any element, so you have to give colon -1. Now it is going to give in the reverse order. Okay, now if I print this colon -1, what does it mean?
-6.
9 to 0.
9 to 0. Yes. Why 9 to 0?
Sir, because it's
Backward
giving the
slicing.
negative step size.
Yeah, we are having a step size -1, right? So if start and end is not given, but the step size is negative, by default, it will jump from negative, like last element to first element. Okay, because start can be given as 0 and it can be as 9, correct? But the moment I see or interpreter sees -1 negative size, start will be your -1. Okay, and end will be your -10. That's how you're getting -1 to -10 value. Okay. So do some more practice. It is common across string, list, and tuple also, which we are going to see next. Okay, it is exactly same. If you understood this concept, all three data type you can easily work. Okay, so let's see what and all functions or methods available with the list object. Okay, so if I give list equals to, let's say, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, print L. Okay, and we have print. What is the function to be used if I want to see all the methods? You guys remember? कुछ याद है या भूल गए? किसी को भी याद है बताओ.
Help, sir.
Which one? Anybody out of 39 participants? Anyone remember how to list the available methods or function of a given object? dir function, you guys forgot or now you remember? dir and put the object name here, that is L, correct? So it is going to give me all the functions or methods supported by that list object or whatever object you are going to put, right? So we have append, clear, copy, count, extend, index. So we are going to see some of them, and which is very important and heavily used. Okay, other remaining one you guys can try on and on. So first we'll see the append. Okay, so before append, I would like to mention like list works as a stack. Okay, so you are adding the element here, right? So it keeps adding at the last, right? And so on, correct? When you use append to this particular list, last element will get added here, exactly at the end. New element by default. There are some other ways to add insert in between using different methods also. Okay, so by default it acts as a stack where whenever you add element, it is going to be added at the end. Okay, similarly we have one function called pop. What it does, it will pop out the element from the existing list, and always it will pop out from the last, because it's a stack, right? You keep adding the plates right on top of it, correct? When you want to remove, you will remove from the top. That is by default, but you can remove from the middle also, right? Or from the bottom also. So we have there are a couple of other functions by which you can add and remove element anywhere, wherever you want. Okay, so that's what we are going to see now. So let's say I have list here L. Okay, and I'm going to append something. So L dot append. How to use all the methods of function? Give the object name followed by dot and add your function. See here, what it tells. You need to add the object. What is my object? I can add 100. Okay, so let's print before and after. Okay, before appending and after appending. See the list. So before appending, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After appending, you see element got added at the last. Okay, if you add once again, what will happen? Let's say I add 200. See here. Since list is mutable, it will keep adding the data at the last, right? And original list will keep updating or keep adding new element or keep removing existing element, correct? So remember, whenever you keep adding element, original list is getting modified. Okay, that's what you see here. Before adding 200, I had 100 available because of this particular append, and after adding 200, you see 200 also got appended at the last. Okay, now let's see pop. So print L, and whenever you pop out the element, right, it is going to remove from the list. So whenever it is going to remove, it is going to return basically. Okay, let's say if I pop out the element from the list, it is going to remove from the last by default, right? The 200 is going to be returned. Okay, so if I do L dot pop, see here. Okay, and after that, if you print this, See, 200 is gone, right? Because it has been popped out from the list. Okay, that's why you got the return value. And original list, as I mentioned, it is mutable, so original list will get modified. You are removing. So whenever you keep popping out the element, right, at one point of time, you will not have any element in the list. So be careful while popping out. Okay, you are deleting the whole data. So be careful. Whenever you are sure you are not going to use the original data, then it's good to go ahead with the pop function. Any questions so far in append and pop? Anybody? Raise your hand if anybody is having question. समझ में आ रहा है कि नहीं है? बहुत
Yes,
simple
sir.
अभी data structure पढ़े होगे, right? I think
Yes, sir.
it is second or third semester. I really forgot. So in data structure you would have read about this. Okay, stack, queue, all those things. If you try this, this is going to be helpful. Data structure है कि नहीं इस semester में?
No, sir.
Okay. But this concept is clear, right? What append is doing, what pop is doing.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
now let's see the next one. So as I mentioned, right, from the stack also you can insert a element anywhere, wherever you want, right? So for that you have something called insert. So what it does, let's say I have println. I want to insert some element in the middle, let's say between 2 and 3. So what is the index of 3? 0, 1, 2. So at second index, I want to insert, let's say -1000. So what I'll do, I'll use L dot insert. See the functionality, it needs index and object. So I want to insert at second position, let's say -100. Okay, and after that I'm going to print. See here. So in place of 3, you added some new element and 3 got moved. Let's say you are adding new plate. So what happened to that plate? Whichever was there at that position, it will be shifted up, right? Again, you insert something new, again it will be shifted, right? So same thing is happening here also in the list. It will keep shifting. Okay, so that's how insert works. Now let's try to remove. So it is just opposite of insert. So wherever you want, you can remove it. So let's see the function of remove. So what it needs basically a value, which value you would like to remove. So let's say I want to remove -100 and if you just print, see here, before removing this was -100 and after removing it is gone. So if you remove the plate, it will be shifted down, correct, from the stack. Same thing is happening in the list also. So this 3 is shifted back to the original position. Okay guys, so remove is also clear. It's very simple. And you guys will be using these kind of functionality whenever you handle the data sets, right? You do some operation and after that you want to remove when you don't care about the data once your output or data is processed basically. Okay, so that kind of operation you can do with the help of remove or pop also. Okay, now let's see how to modify the list element, because that's what we guys know, right? List is mutable, so you should be able to modify the data. Append and remove we saw, but existing data how to modify. So let's see again, we have println. Let's say I want to replace this 200 as this 2 as 200. How to do that? So we can always use the assignment operator. Okay, so I would like to know first what is the position of this particular data, or what is the index. So this is nothing but 1. You can give 1, and at 1 position I want to have 200. Okay, now print L. That's how you do the assignment. We inserted 200, but original data was not modified. It shifted back, right, or shifted forward. But here, if you would like to modify, then this is the assignment operator you have to use. Okay, with the help of indexing. Is it clear to everyone? Assign कैसे करना है, modify कैसे करना है existing value? Say yes, no.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Now let's see how to delete the list. Okay, so there is one function called del. I would not say function, it's a inbuilt keyword. Okay, if you use that del keyword, it is going and pass the object, whatever object you would like to delete from memory, it is going to delete. It is not very specific to a list or string or dictionary. It is globally available. Okay, so we have del. You just do that, and if we try to print after this, see what will happen. See, this list object is deleted and it is no more available in the memory. That's why name L is not defined. I've been using L so far, right? But see, after deleting, what happened? There is no more defined. Okay, so delete keyword will be very helpful when you want to delete it from the data. For whatever variable database you have created so far, right, while running your program. If you want to delete, you don't want to see it anymore, then use delete keyword. Okay, and now let's say you have some elements in this, right? Let's say you have millions of data, millions of elements in the list. You would like to know exactly how many elements are there in the list. So we have one function called print len, that is nothing but length of one object. So your object could be your string, it could be list, it could be tuple or dictionary. Okay, so you see we have 5 elements. Okay, so that's all about list. Any doubts so far? Then we'll see some interview questions. This kind of thing will be helpful. That's why I've listed here. So let's see what and all interview questions can be asked. How to create an empty list? We saw it. A, using empty square bracket. How to alter elements? You can use the assignment we just saw here. Can we alter elements of a defined list? Yes, because it's a mutable data type, right? This is the kind of question will be asked. Okay. How to clear all elements of a list? We have one function here, right? I showed here. There's one function called clear. If you use, let's say, l.clear, it is going to clear all the element of the list. List will remain same. It is not going to delete, but all the element will be removed. Which one is fast, append or insert? Explain why with the example. Okay, so this will be basically I could have shown with the help of some library, but here you see here execution time, right? So let's say you are going to insert. So what will I'm just going to explain the concept. Okay, let me go to insert. So let's say you insert one element here at the beginning. I'll explain with the help of whiteboard. Okay, let's say you have a list of 1, 10, 100 and up to, let's say, 1 lakh elements are there. Okay, so your index will be from 0 to exactly 99,000, right? 9999, it's correct, right? Yeah. So let's say you are going to insert a new element here. What will happen to this particular number? Earlier index was 0. Now this will become 0 plus 1, that is nothing but 1. Correct? So whenever you use insert, right, at the beginning, all the index will get updated for all those 1 lakh element. So this kind of operation is going to be very costly. Let's say you have trillions of element, all trillion of element index will be updated because you just added one element plus one will be added. See how much operation it has to do internally. Okay, but this is not true with the help of append. Okay, so let's say append because it is always adding at the last, correct? Always go with the append. Let it add at the last. But insert, because of this feature, if you are adding at the beginning or maybe in the middle, right? So if exactly at the beginning, so total n minus 1 is your cost. Okay, but exactly at the end, there is no cost because it is not going to update any index. Okay, so that is the benefit of having append rather than using insert. Okay, so remember that this might be other interview, you can tell the same thing. Okay, then list is mutable, immutable. So we have immutable. How do you print all elements in reverse order? So colon, minus 1. Okay, execution time between insert and append. So I just told you, right? So you have to remember this operation. So it is going to take maybe 20 to maybe 50 seconds, maybe at least 20 to 30 seconds it is going to take if you have these many elements. But if you do append, it is just in the millisecond. Okay. So when you run this, you will get to know here in millisecond. Okay, guys. So any question in lists, then we'll see the next topic. All clear so far? Any doubt? Anybody? Yes, Bhavesh.
Like one list to another list.
Come again. Your voice is breaking.
Be L dot append bracket L1.
Your question is not clear, Bhavesh. Can you type? I'm not able to hear your voice properly. It is breaking. Just type it. Just put your question in the chat box. Meanwhile, anybody else having any question? Okay, I'll wait for his question meanwhile. So let's see the next topic. So we have another data type called tuple. Okay, so we have a couple of very important interview questions in tuple also, though it's a very small topic. So let's see what it is and what and all thing you can do. So can we do this operation L1 dot append L1? Yes, you can do that. Why not? It's a good question. See what he is asking basically. Let's say you have two lists. Okay, L1 equal to, let's say 1, 2, 3, and L2 equal to, let's say you have another list 4, 5, 6. Okay, so you can do L2 dot append L1. So if you see the function here, right, what it does basically, see here, it needs object. So object could be either you are adding one value directly or that value is coming from some list. So that's what Bhavesh is asking. Can we add this list? Of course you can add. You just add L1. See the output. So since this is mutable, right? So you can use L2. See here, 4, 5, 6, and the whole list is getting appended at the last. Okay. I hope it is clear, Bhavesh. Bhavesh, is it clear? Okay, so I don't hear him, but I assume it is clear. It was very, very basic question. Okay, so where is tuple? Okay, so before going to this, let me open another whiteboard. Okay, what is tuple? Have you guys heard about tuple earlier? Anybody? See, it is not
Yes,
there,
sir.
but Java you might have heard, those who are studying Java, right? So who said yes? Can you just explain what is that tuple?
Sir,
Tuple is another
tuple is
type of
similar
list
to
which
the
is
list
immutable.
in many ways.
Similar to the list? What is the difference?
It's immutable.
Yes. First of all,
The
it is
tuple is
immutable.
immutable. Tuple
That is immutable. That is one point. Another point is you can define tuple with the help of small bracket. Okay.
is-
And if you are defining any single element, it has to end with comma, because these brackets are optional. Even if you define, let's say a equal to 1, I can use a equal to 1. This also, this is optional. Okay, but when I use tuple, let's say I use tuple a equal to 1. So you may think, okay, it is starting and closing, right? So this is tuple. I ask this question very frequently with all candidates, and they get confused. Basically, they directly say it is tuple. It is wrong. Tuple will be like this. When you have single element in tuple, it must end with comma. This is your tuple. Okay, please remember that. And if you add, let's say a equal to one string, let's say ABC, I can write like this also. This is still a string. I can write like this also. This is also a string. This is also string. But when I write a equal to ABC and just add this comma, or a equal to ABC and add this comma. So these two are nothing but your tuple. Please remember that. Okay, so because in normal operation or normal variable definition, this bracket is optional. But the moment you end with comma, this will become tuple. We'll see with the help of example. Okay, so let's see that. So tuple is also heterogeneous data type. Only difference between the list and tuple is two difference, basic difference. It is tuple is immutable, list is mutable. Okay, and tuple will have this square, not a square bracket, basically a round bracket or a small bracket, but list will have a square bracket. Okay, so this is what I have mentioned here. You guys can read it. So let's see the example now. A equal to, or maybe I'll mention P for tuple. I can use square bracket, let's say A, sorry, small bracket. Okay, and if I use print T, I can just prove you, okay, this is just an integer, not a tuple type of T. See, it belongs to class integer. But the moment I end with this, see what is the magic happening here. This becomes tuple. That's where people get stuck. They get confused. That's why I'm telling you is no matter how much you know in Python, if you don't know core Python, all are waste. Because in an interview, mostly they will be asking the core Python in very basic. Because all advanced and other thing, right? Those are just using the function, getting your job done. That's all. But an underlying concept will be this. These things you should know. And that's where I focus more. You guys should learn these things. Okay, and how to check people are still joining. Let's say T equal to 1 plus, not 1 plus 12.3, then 3 plus 3j. As I mentioned, it is heterogeneous, right? So I can add any kind of data, correct? ABC, I can add tuple inside a tuple. That is also fine. Correct? I can add list inside a tuple. That is also fine. Print T and print type of T. Okay, guys, you see here. So this is going to put along with the bracket and all the data, and this belongs to class tuple. Okay, other concept remains same. Do you guys need to repeat me concatenation and repetition? Or let me do that. Let me do that very quickly. I'm not going to talk more, but I'll just define, let's say T1. So those who joined recently, it can be repetition for others. That's okay. Okay, so if I use T1 plus T2, it is going to add both element together. Okay, not mathematically, basically concatenating together and create a new tuple. Okay, if I do repetition, then what will happen? T1 star, let's say 5. It is going to make a new tuple and add all the element of the original tuple. That's what is your repetition. Okay. Indexing, slicing all remains same. There's no change. So probably this topic I'll skip. Okay, it is same as I just mentioned. I'm not going to repeat. Same as string and list. So I want you guys to create a tuple and do indexing and slicing on your own. Okay, that is your homework. Hello, those who are not speaking, please mute. Okay, so what kind of interview questions they ask? Okay, so first is like how to create empty tuple. So we saw that is empty bracket. Okay, how to define single element in tuple. That also we saw. Difference between 1 comma and 1 comma. I think this is. I think I forgot to put the bracket. I think it is already there. This is 1 and 1 comma. Okay, so 1 is integer, 1 comma is tuple. Okay, difference between along with the bracket. So this is also same. This is integer and this is your tuple. We already saw, correct? How to alter element in a given tuple? You cannot do that because it is immutable. So either you can delete the whole tuple or create a copy of tuple by adding new tuple element. Okay. How to clear all element of tuple? Is it possible? So let's see whether do you have any functionality as clear. Okay, 1 comma 2 comma 3 and print T. Let's see what are the functions available for T. So do you have, it is moving this side. Yeah. So I don't see any clear functionality here. You cannot clear because it is immutable, right? Once it is created, you can delete it. You cannot modify. Okay, list versus tuple also have written. So tuples are sorted in a single block of memory, stored in a single block of memory. Tuples are immutable, so it doesn't require extra space to store new objects. Because as I mentioned, right, indexing slicing, when you do, right, it is fine. But when you insert a new element, first of all, it is not applicable for tuple because it is immutable. You cannot insert new element. So it doesn't really have to store all the location and indexing of all the elements. It is not required because it is not going to be altered, right? Because you will not be inserting or deleting any element. It is not possible. Lists are allocated in two blocks: the fixed one with all the Python object information and variable size block of the data. This is the information I was talking, Python object information. When something is new coming in the list, new element is getting added, what information to be updated. Those information will be stored for list, but not for tuple. It also explains the slight difference in indexing speed is faster than list. As I mentioned, it is same because of these reasons. Okay. Okay, let's see which one takes more memory. So we have one library called sys, that is nothing but system. So using system library, we have one function called get size of. So let's see the size of tuple, that is empty tuple, and this is empty list. Which one takes more space? So size of tuple is 40 bytes, but size of list is 56 bytes. Why? Because as I mentioned here, right, it needs extra information about the Python object that needs to be stored. It is taking extra space, correct? So that's why tuple always take less memory and list will take more memory. Which one is fast, list or tuple? Of course, tuple will be fast. Tuple is immutable. How do you print all elements in reverse order? We have already seen the list and string. Same thing applicable for tuple also. Okay, some advantages I have mentioned, which we have already talked here. It takes less memory, it is faster, all those things. Okay. So this is your just for your reference only. So whenever you are preparing for interview, right, just go through this notebook and see the last section. Okay, guys, so not much about tuple. You guys have any questions so far? Tell me. Anybody, any question on list and tuple? All fine? Say yes, no?
Yes. So
Okay. Then let's see the next data type as what we have, dictionary, right? So let me open it. Okay, I'll use the whiteboard again. Have you heard about dictionary other than Oxford Dictionary?
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is
Where,
an
where?
ordered set of key
Ordered or unordered?
unordered.
Okay, it doesn't matter. In Python 3,
Unordered.
yeah, it used to be unordered in Python 2, another version, but Python 3, they have made it ordered. Okay. So what is dictionary basically? So first of all, empty dictionary, how you create is using curly braces. Okay, and all the key and value pair will be separated by colon. Okay, this is your column. So key stands for key and value stands for v stands for value. Okay, so there are some thumb rule to define key and value pair. Key can be any data type. When I say any data type, means only immutable data type. Any data type which is immutable. Okay, remember that. So this is also another question. What are the thumb rule to define the dictionary? Okay, so you can use key value. First of all, key and value pair to be used. How to define another key value pair? V then comma, another key and value pair, then comma, another key and value pair, then comma. Okay, and so on. Last comma is not required because this is the last element. Okay, so key should be any data type which is immutable. So what and all data type you can have? You can have integer, you can have float, you can have, let's say, string. Okay, and you can have tuple also. These are all immutable data type, right? You cannot change it. And value, any data type. When I say any data type means either it is immutable or mutable. So when you go for interview, remember these concepts. This is very important. How do you define? That is one thing. How the key value pairs are placed, and what is the thumb rule for defining key and value pair? Very important question. Okay, so where exactly we use it basically? If you guys remember, right, maintaining the student database. So where student name will be there, age will be there, gender will be there, and let's say you are maintaining the college database, right? So their branch, which subject they have chosen as elective subject, okay, which department. So all those information are stored in the form of key and value pair. Okay, so key will be, let's say, electronics branch. Under that key, value is all the student. Again, all the student, what is their name, age? So name, age is nothing but the key, and value will be their name, their age, their gender. Okay, so those are value. Okay, so for maintaining the database, this dictionary will be used. So empty table doesn't really need comma. I think Asta has asked this question. Okay, but when you define one single element of that, comma should be there. If it is not there, then it will be treated as integer. Okay, guys, so let's define the dictionary now. I have written it here. Okay, dictionary in Python is unordered. Okay, so now it is no more valid. It is ordered now. Unordered in Py 2.7 I mentioned because I had started with 2.7. And in the, so when it is unordered, right, when you print the dictionary, right, let's say you have to find a value of a is 2, value of b is 3, value of c is equal to 4. So whenever you print a dictionary, right, a, b, c will not be coming. It may come, let's say, c, then a, then b. That is called unordered. When I say order means it will be coming exactly as a, b, and c. Okay, so Python 3 and higher version, it has become ordered. Ordered in Py 3.0. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, this is key and value pair. And I have mentioned all the thumb rule here. Okay, you guys can read it later. So let's create the dictionary based on the thumb rule. This is the empty dictionary. Print a, print type of a. Okay, so you see here class dict. Okay, now let's create values a, then colon 1. Okay, and one more thing to remember, you have another thing I forgot to mention. Yeah, so you cannot have duplicate key. Duplicate key is not allowed. This is another important factor about dictionary, or another concept I would say about dictionary. Okay, so you can have a colon 1, this is fine, but again a colon 2, if you're defining, can someone tell me what will happen if you define a colon 1 and a colon 2? What will happen?
Error.
Okay, but there is no error. Okay, Python will not throw any error. What else will happen? Okay, forget about dictionary. We have learned about like how to define the variable, right? I define a equal to 1 and a equal to 10. What will happen in this case? Does Python interpreter throw there? No, right? So only last value will be taken, right? 10. So basically 10 is overriding 1. Similarly here 2 is overriding 1. No error. Okay. So though you are defining duplicate key, it is going to take the last value whatever is defined. If you really want to have duplicate key, so keys are case sensitive. So you can have a colon 1, capital A colon 1. Those things are allowed. Okay, so remember that. So I can define a colon 1, then let's say another one, b colon 2. Okay, this is 1. And let's say b, I'm taking a colon, let's say I'm taking capital A. Okay, and here I'm taking a equal to 20 and b colon 30. This is also fine. So we'll see what will happen. C equal to what else? A colon 1 I can have, small a colon 1 I can have, and b colon 20 I have. This is also fine. D equal to, So as I mentioned, key should be any immutable data type, right? So I have been using string now. Let's say I can use 10 also. Okay, this is one example. And don't get confused. I write like this. So this is key and value. When I write like this has become value and this has become key. No, order will be always like key first, left side of the column, and right side of the column is always value. Okay. But as I mentioned, key should be any immutable, right? So I can use string, integer, float, tuple. Value could be any data type. So I am free to use any kind of data type here. I can use here A. Okay. And I can use, let's say, B colon 20. Anything is fine. Equal to, let's say, I can use tuple also, right? I'll use 1, 2 colon, let's say A. Okay. Now let's print it. So what is missing here? Line number 3. What is error? I gave comma here, right? This is fine. What else is the mistake? This one. This column is invalid. All key value pairs should be separated by comma, but between key and value separated is colon. Okay. That's why I gave error. By mistake, I put the column. You see here, everything is fine, right? There's no error. Correct? So we have followed all the rules here, whatever is mentioned. Based on that, we created a dictionary. Let's say I create another dictionary where, as I told, right, mutable data type you cannot use as dictionary key. So what is mutable data type? I can use 1, 2, 3 as a list. Will it work? See here. Unhashable type. Okay, so list cannot be hashed. Okay, only immutable data type can be hashed. That's why you will not be allowed to use list. Another very basic reason, right? So list is mutable, right? You can add, let's say you are adding some student info here, and by mistake someone added some element. Because it is immutable, sorry, it is mutable, so it can be added and deleted. So you see, you will be losing some data about your student, which is not good, right? So that's why a mutable data type cannot be used as a key. Okay. So the good example I could have shown, but you guys don't know about the database and all, right? So when I talk about pandas library, right, where you have large data set, so I could have talked about this. Where exactly use tuple as a key. Okay.
Sir.
Yeah.
Sir, in first example, you give the string, but the output is a character.
Where?
Sir, in first input.
Here. This one you're talking?
Yes, sir.
So where is output is character?
So like A equals to where here in output there is A is character, but in input there is A string.
No. I think you are getting confused about this double quote and single quote. I could have used this. Okay, that's a good question. Basically, you could have used, let's say, this also. Okay, don't think I have put double quote. So this is a string, but this is used as a character. Don't think that way. Anything under double quote, single quote, or triple quote, those are string only. But Python, when it provides the output, right, it will always use a single quote, not double quote. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is like normal way of writing. Like whenever you write a program, you will use the double quote. But Python, when it outputs the data, right, it will always use the single quote. Okay. So whichever way you like, if you want to use single quote, you can use single quote also. Okay, so let's see the type of dictionary. We already saw it. So print type of A. Okay, so this belongs to dictionary class. Accessing dictionary elements. How to access that? So let me use one example here. I'll copy paste. So we have seen indexing, slicing in the list, tuple, and string, right? But here we should always go with the help of key. Okay, so how do you access the student database? Basically, you input the name, right? Let's say I input the name of any student. It is going to give me the complete history, complete data, right? So basically, name is nothing but the key. So here, the name of the student is, let's say, A. Okay, so what is its name? 1. So how to access that? I can use A. Again, we'll for accessing, indexing, or slicing, and key element, we always use the star bracket. Okay, and you need to give the exact name of that key. So whatever key is present, it is going to return me the output of that. You see here, A of A, it is 1, so we got 1, correct? Similarly, I can give A of B, means dictionary B, sorry, dictionary A, what is my value of B? It is going to provide me 2. Okay, it's very straightforward. Now let's see how to add new key value pair to the dictionary. Let's say I want to add another element. Let's say adding another student database. How to add that? So what happened is the beauty of dictionary. Okay, so whenever, let's say you add a, let me add print first. You have only this student, 2 student database is there. 1 database, 2 student name, A and B. Okay, I would like to add 3rd student name. How to add it? So you can add, let's say I can use C and just assign some value here, 20. So what will happen internally, you check whether C is present or not. So if it is not present, it is going to add that in the database. If it is present, it is going to override the existing data with 20. Okay. Now let's print A. See here. If you try to run again, what will happen? C is already existing. It is getting overwritten. Let's say if I add 200 now, what will happen? So it will check in the dictionary whether C is present or not. Is it present? Yes, it is present. And it is going to override 20 with 200. See here. Okay, so that is nothing but you are updating the existing key value pair of dictionary. Any doubt so far? How to add new element and how to change the element of the existing key? Very straightforward. Okay, there is no function call. We are just using the square bracket notation. That's all. All clear? Say yes, no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now let's see how to check whether key is present or not. Okay, so let's say I have print A here, which is already defined. I want to check key is present or not. So what you can do basically, you can, okay, before that I could have shown you this particular thing. Okay, let's talk about this first. How to access all keys and values. Okay, so in dictionary, we can access all the available keys. Let's say very large student database is there. I want to extract the key of all the student database. How to do that? We have a dot keys. There's one function here. Okay, it is going to return what and all the keys present in the dictionary. Okay, similarly, if you give values, it is going to return all the values used in the dictionary. Okay, so good thing about this, it is returning the list of all the keys and list of all the values. Then you have the list. You can check whether that key is present or not, that value is present or not, using membership keyword. And what is the membership keyword? You guys remember the previous class? Can someone tell me? Have you forgot about in, not in? So that's what I'm talking here. So how to check whether key is present or not? What you can do, you can always check the list. And since we got the list right, so what we can do now, let's say all the keys are there, a dot keys. Okay, and if you print k, what is happening? So it is going to create this output in the form of iterator, I would say. And you can use the list function to create the normal list. So I can again overwrite list of, just to convert a normal list, because you see this extra name here, right? So I can just convert by using list and print key. I'm just breaking down the problem, okay, so that you guys can understand. Now we got a normal list of all the keys, right? So let's say I want to check whether Z is present or not. So I'll just Z in K. Is it present? If it is present, it is going to return Boolean true. If not, then it is going to return Boolean false. See here. Now let's check whether C is present or not. Yes, it is present. So that's the way to check whether that key is present or not. Okay. So that's about keys, values, and how to check the key is present or not. Now let's talk about deleting key of a dictionary. Can someone tell me? We have already seen in the list. how to delete the element. Can someone tell me quickly?
Use del function.
Del function.
Del keyword, right?
Del
let's say-
function.
Yeah. So let's say we have print A. I'm going to delete, let's say, A of C. Just use delete A of C. Okay, and after that print A again. See what happens. See, this student is deleted. Let's say that student is no more in that branch, and we are updating the database. That's how they delete. Okay. So in Python, this is the way to delete the key and value pairs. So this we already saw, keys and values. Where is that? Okay, guys. So what are available methods? Let's talk about this also. So we have seen in the string list tuple, right? Similarly, in dictionary also we can see what methods are there. So I'll use print a dir of e. Okay, it has so many functions. So one is like clear, copy, from keys, get items, keys, pop item, set default, update, and values. Couple of them we are going to see here, okay, which is very heavily used. Other remaining one you guys can read the help and see how it works. Okay, so items is nothing but basically each key value pair will be known as one item. Okay, so when I give items, so it is going to return me the tuple of all the key value pair existing in the dictionary. Okay, so if I give a dot items, see here what it does. It is going to return me the list of all the key value pair in the form of tuple. You see here, this is one tuple where a is the key and its value is 1, b is another key and its value is 2. This is another tuple. Correct? That's what items does. If you want to iterate over each key value pair using for loop, get the items and iterate over it. Okay. What pop does, let's see that. If I do pop, so in list what it was doing, it was returning from the last, correct? But here pop takes one key, because right now we don't have any idea, right, which key it is going to remove. So always provide the key value, key pair, okay, or the key name. See here, remove specified key and return the corresponding value. So I have to specify which particular key I would like to remove. Let's say I want to remove B, and whatever value is there, it is going to return that. And if you are going to print A again, so dictionary is also mutable, right? So it is going to update the original dictionary. So you lost one element, one key value pair, right? So be careful while using pop, either list and dictionary. Okay, now we have pop item. So let me add another value here first. Equal to colon 3 colon 4. Okay, so what pop item does basically, pop item, see here, it is same as whatever we have seen in the pop functionality of list. You don't have to mention anything. It is always going to return one key value pair from the last. Okay, so if you do this, let me print A here, before and after. See here. Here, guys. Since it is going to return, right, I could have added print here. See here. So pop item is going to remove key value pair from the last, from the dictionary. Okay. Now update, what exactly it does. So let's say we saw concatenation, right, for the list and string, right? Similarly, update will do the concatenation kind of job. Okay, so here let's see one dictionary, A colon 1, and we have B equal to B colon 2. Okay, print A and print B. This is your dictionary. Let's say a dictionary A I want to update, and where I want to add the key value pair of the B. So how to do that? So we have update function A dot update, and whatever dictionary you want to add, you just add that number. That's all. and after that you print A. See what is happening. See, earlier we had only A colon 1. Now element of key value pair of B is also added to A. Okay, so it depends on the order, which order you are writing. If you would have added B update A, then key value pair of A would have added in the B. Okay, similarly, let's see this one. Print A and clear A. It is like clearing all the elements. See here. Before clearing, we had A and B, and after clearing, all the key value pair has been removed. Okay, guys, so that's how you use it. This is also pretty simple. I hope you guys understood. Let me know if you have not understood. So Naveen is asking pop and delete में क्या difference है? Okay, so pop is basically it is as good as delete only, but it is just by using the function. And the delete you have to mention in a different way because delete is the global keyword. Pop is very much specific to that particular object, be it your list and what to say, dictionary. Okay, and it is always going to remove from the last. That's what pop does by default. But in delete, you just have to, let's say, mention the specific, what to say, either whole object you want to delete, you can delete that, or one particular index you want to delete, then you have to do the indexing. If you want to delete one particular key value pair, then you have to mention the exact key. That's the difference. But both are doing the same job. They are deleting from the object. Okay. But the way we do that is different. That's all. Anybody, any other question? So those who doesn't want to talk, they can write the question also. I will just read and go through it. Or let me pick the name this time. Sonu Kumar. Let me check. Hello, Sonu, can you hear me?
Hello. Yes, sir.
Yeah, any doubt so far? All concepts are clear?
Yes, sir. फिलहाल तो ठीक है, sir.
Okay. पिछली क्लास में कोई डाउट? स्ट्रिंग लिस्ट?
No, sir. Strings समझ में आ गई थी.
आगे
सर टपल में दिक्कत हुई थी सर, बट जब आप दोबारा एग्जांपल दिए वो एबीसी वाला वो समझ में आया.
Okay, good. Let me check. Shreya? I'll be picking random name, okay. Priyansh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, tell me any doubt you have. All clear so far, everything is good?
All clear, sir.
Okay. So I'm going to give one exercise, okay? So you guys have to,
Yes.
if concept is clear now, so I would like to hear one answer from you guys. Okay. Let me pick some more. Ankita? If no one is talking, right, I assume that they have understood. I would like to hear answer from them. Ankita, can you hear me? Okay, who else is there? Apurva?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so any doubt so far? All clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let me ask one question directly to you only. Okay, so let's say I have one example here. A equal to 1, 2, 3 and print A of colon. Okay, tell me what will be the output of this. Or anybody can answer. It's open for everyone. Just think through it. Okay, this is very simple one. So far we have been talking about only one colon, right? But what if I add multiple colon?
So, in the first, it will be printing 1, 2, 3. In the second, -1 difference, so 1 and 3, and the third again 1, 2, 3.
Okay, can you repeat again? I think you are very close.
In the first, it will be printing 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Second, the step difference will be -1. So 2 will be not there. So 1 and 3.
No. You are very close, but you are missing one. So here we are just putting the step size -1.
Sir, in
So
second,
1, 2, 3,
3, 2, 1,
1,
2, 1.
exactly 3 to 1. Correct.
Yes, sir.
I think you guys, I think I've taught it properly. That's why you are able to answer. Okay. Yeah. So whenever you get this kind of question, right, this is just for confusing. Okay. So you always remember we are depending on the previous output. Okay. If you break out the problem, output of this, as you mentioned, 1, 2, 3, correct? And that is nothing but a list again, correct? In that list again, I'm applying colon -1. So it will reverse the whole list. Now it will become 3 to 1. Okay. So output till here is again your square bracket 3 to 1. And in that 3 to 1, again, I'm just accessing all the elements, right? So final output will be 3 to 1. See here. Okay. I hope it is clear to everyone. There is no real use case of this, okay? But ये confuse करने के लिए हम लोग पूछते हैं इंटरव्यू में, ठीक है? क्योंकि अगर concept clear है, then you will be able to answer, correct? Okay, let me add one more question here. So if I have, let's say, A1 and B, let's say 1, 2, and C. It's a very logical one. C colon 10, 20, 30. Print A. Okay, avoid print A. Let's say I'm using B. Okay, what will be the output of this?
C.
Think again and tell me, okay?
Mhm.
If you guys are able to solve it, then my job is done. Okay, you have understood properly list and dictionary concept.
C.
Just
10,
break
20,
the
30.
break the problem into pieces, then you solve it. Okay? It will be easy to solve.
10, 20, 30.
Okay, what else? Ten, 20, 30 is the right answer, right? Let me just run. Okay, so let me check the problem first, but it is correct only. Yeah. So who told what 10, 20, 30? Naveen only?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Naveen, explain now. You explain to everyone why we got 10, 20, 30.
Sir, because under A double bracket B gives us key value of B. That is
Yeah,
1,
it
2,
gives a
and
1
C.
to C, correct? Okay, and
And
what is
minus,
the data
minus
type? What is
it's
data
list.
type? It's a
List,
list.
list.
Okay. Then
Then -1 gives C up C.
correct.
Then C it's a whole
Yes.
A2.
So whole thing is nothing but C. A of C. A of C is nothing but 10, 20, 30. Correct. And I could have made it little challenging by adding this also. What will be the output? It will just reverse.
30, 20,
30,
10.
20, 10. Is it clear to everyone? Because this is very general question, and you see we are doing indexing as well as slicing, and it's a nested indexing slicing. Okay. So just remember what is the previous output. What kind of output you are getting. List type है या tuple type है या dictionary है या string है, कुछ भी हो सकता है, right? But indexing slicing is common across all, correct? चलो अभी और किसी को पकड़ता हूँ मैं भी. विकास शर्मा. Okay, no response. Indranil?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So any doubt in this? Is it clear?
सर एक बार और समझाइए।
देखा मैंने, पकड़ा तो अभी। ओके, तो इसमें क्या समझ में नहीं आया, बताओ, मैं फिर से बताता हूँ।
सर वो आउटपुट कैसे आया, मतलब वो
अच्छा ठीक है, आउटपुट कैसे है ना। सो सी, एज आई मेंशन राइट, यू नीड टू ब्रेक आउट द प्रॉब्लम. ओके, सो लेट्स ब्रेक द प्रॉब्लम फर्स्ट, one by one. So first what we had this a of b that is coming from here. So a of b is what? This is the b is nothing but the key of that a, right? So we got 1 to c, we got it. So I know this is the list type. From that I'm just getting the last element, that is -1. I'm just adding -1 here. What I got? C. From this list, -1 is nothing but c only, correct? I know c is already present in the dictionary as a key, so I can use this c to get the value of c also, correct? So this one I'm just doing, the whole output is c, so I'll just put in the square bracket and give a. See here, so a of c, this whole output is c. So a of c is what? 10, 20, 30. Again it's a list, this whole output is list. I can add colon -1 just to confuse you guys or make it more complex. 30, 20, 10, right? That's how we got it. Okay, is it clear, Nindani?
Yes, sir, clear.
Okay, Deepali?
Yes, sir.
I mean, clear, or you have some doubt in this?
No, sir, clear.
Okay, great. Who else is there? Advika? Any doubt? I think they are not present. Simran? Is it clear or you have doubt? Okay, so I assume that it is clear. If not clear, please watch the video once again. Okay, and please download the notebook and do the practice the way we are writing here, right? Just alter the data, play with the data, and see what output you are getting. Okay, and try to understand. It will be very helpful. Okay, so that's all about dictionary. Let's see a couple of interview questions. So can we define duplicate keys in dictionary? I have already mentioned no, but yes, you can define if you don't care about the case. If you care about the cases, okay. So small a and capital A you can define. Can we use list data type to define key? No, because it is mutable data type. How to change name of key to other name? So how we can change that? How to change name of a key to other name? I want you guys to try this at home. Okay, in the next class we'll see. If you are not able to solve it, let me know. I'll help you guys. सब मैं ही सॉल्व कर दूंगा तो क्या करोगे तुम लोग? करेक्ट, थोड़ा एफर्ट डालो एंड सॉल्व करो उसको. How you define nested dictionary? We have already seen here, right? So this is kind of nested dictionary. Where it went? Okay, we have not seen, then let me just show you. So dictionary inside a dictionary, like we saw, right? List inside a list. So I can define list, dictionary a equal to 1, then e equal to 3, then c equal to a column. You can add another dictionary here, because as I mentioned, value could be any data type, correct? I can use, let's say, again I can use a here, because this a is not same as this a. This a and 1 is nothing but a separate key value, but here this is coming in the form of value of c, which is again a dictionary. Okay, so this is still possible. So I can use 10 here, then I can use b as 20. Don't think, okay, a b is already defined, you cannot use. You can use, because it is a value. Value could be any data type, correct? So if I access this, let's say c, so a of c is this, then what will be the output? Can someone tell me? Okay, let me pick the name once again, this for final thing. Darshita, can you tell me what will be the output of this? Okay. So are you able to hear me, Darshita? Okay. What is the output? You raise your hand. Just tell me the output. Okay, I cannot hear you. So I can't unmute. Okay, I'm not sure why you're not able to unmute. Anyway, so you can type your answer. Meanwhile, let me go to other file. What is the output of this?
So 20.
20. Can you explain why?
Sir, from A we will take C first, and in C we will take the B
Exactly.
key
So A of C
and the
is nothing
value.
but your dictionary, right? Which is nothing but
Yes, sir.
A of this. Okay. From dictionary, we know we can do another key filtering, right? So this key is nothing but B, which is already present in C. Okay. So you will get
Yes, sir.
20. Okay. That's correct. So I'm happy that you guys are able to understand and able to answer that question. Good. So my effort is not wasted. Thank you so much. Okay, so that's about nested dictionary. Then how to access value from nested dictionary? This is the example. Okay. You need to traverse to that element and see what is the output of that element. Is it dictionary or list? If dictionary, use the key. If it is list, use the index. Okay. Okay, guys, it's already 7:33. So I think we should wind up. Then tomorrow we can cover for loop, while loop, decision making, and some part of function. I thought of covering for loop, while loop, but it's already 7:30. That's okay. So once for loop, while loop is covered, right, and if condition like decision making condition, then only we will be able to solve some question. Okay, so we'll have one exercise, and that exercise, like one will be simple, one will be complex, and whatever we have read so far, right, you will be able to apply all the logic and all the concept by solving those two exercises. Okay, so we'll see that tomorrow. So Naveen is asking a new key, a old key dot pop. Yeah, that is correct. Just try that. Okay, I think I want everyone to solve that. So a old key and you are popping it, then assigning new key should be okay. Any other question, guys? General question from PS class and today's class. Forum is
Sir,
open for
what is the
everyone.
nested? What nested actually specify?
So nested means basically you are having, let's say, some element. Okay, let me just use whiteboard. So let's say you are having one dictionary. Okay, inside this you are putting any other dictionary. Inside this there is another dictionary. Inside this there is another dictionary. Okay, so keep adding dictionary inside a dictionary. That is what is called nested. Okay, let's say you have a list, which is like this is your first opening and closing. Inside this you have another list. Inside this you have another list. Like that, it will keep going on. That is what is nested. Is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other question, guys? So are you liking this, the way I'm teaching and examples I'm giving, all the internal concept? Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
I
Yes,
hope
sir.
you will be able to apply whenever you learn any language, or maybe let's say data structure also, right? These kind of things will be very helpful, because no matter which programming language you're learning, these data type will be always common, but representation will be different. Okay, so one or other way it is going to be helpful only. Okay, guys, then let's wind up. See you tomorrow. Okay, please be available on time. Some people are joining after 7:30 also, which is not good. Okay, try to join. So tomorrow morning we have class around 9 to 11, right? Please join exactly at 9. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Bye bye. Good night.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good night.